Well, I work for His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales and run one of his groups, which is called the Prince of Wales Corporate Leaders Group. I also work for the University of Cambridge and direct all of their initiatives regarding international and European policy. And I'm here because actually the Prince of Wales Corporate Leaders Group has been responding and encouraging governments for the last 10 years to sign a robust deal at COPs. And so we're hoping that we're going to be able to end with this COP with something that really is robust and ambitious.
What is the state of play for a business executive? What are they looking at in the agreement as it stands?
I think really the business executive is looking for the signal, something that tells them that actually the direction of travel that they're on, moving towards a low-carbon economy, is going to continue, that investments are going to continue, that governments are taking this seriously.
The idea of a long-term goal.
So for us, that's the idea of a long-term goal, yes, to be net zero well before the end of the century, to also implement the European, for example, INDC, which is to be at least 80 to 95% greenhouse gas emission reduction by 2050. So that's much earlier. And I think in addition to that, what we really need is to have the review cycles integrated directly into the text so that we can see that actually governments across the globe are taking stock soon after the agreement has been agreed, so sometime around 2018, and then by 2020 that they're looking at the next steps. So implementing actually what they've agreed in their INDCs, but then looking at the next steps to ensure that they're moving towards ambition, and an ambition that reflects both the science and also the progress in terms of technology and innovation.
How essential is the phrasing of this concept of a long-term goal? Is that what's going to matter to the aforementioned business executive, or is it the thrust of what comes out of Paris? But there's the discussion of climate neutrality or decarbonisation, for example. Are those important?
I think both of them are important. We need to define exactly what that means, both in the text but also in terms of timing. Yes, if you're an energy company and you're going to be investing in a large energy plant, you need to know 10 to 20 years in advance where actually that goal is going to be. So the investments, for them to happen now in a low carbon technology or an investment in renewables, we need to know exactly what the timing is. So both that and also defining what climate neutrality means, because for the moment there isn't a very clear definition, or what decarbonization means.
Okay. There have been a series of high-profile announcements at this COP. Again, relating to the private sector, how different has it been to others, and will it stand out for some years to come?
I think we've already prepared this COP for quite some time. So the very big difference between Copenhagen and now is that actually the link to the non-state actors and the work that the non-state actors are doing at the city level through business, NGOs, civil society, and investors to try to really work with governments with new commitments and pledges and objectives of moving towards decarbonization. The voice of the non-state actors has been incredibly strong over the last couple of years and is only gathering in strength here at COP. And so I'm really hopeful that the negotiators are listening to that voice. Yesterday we had to send a reminder to them. We sent a letter which we initiated through the Prince of Wales Corporate Leaders Group and worked with our partners across the globe through We Mean Business, claiming very clearly to not only negotiators but heads of state across the globe, we need that long-term goal. We need that review cycle. We are there. We are holding you accountable. Do not leave Paris without an ambitious deal.
You're also advocates for carbon pricing and fossil fuel subsidy reform. Where do those two fit into this overall picture?
So originally I think the call from business was to try to see if we could get carbon pricing or fossil fuel subsidy reform references in the text. That's proven to be a bit difficult. I think the most important thing now is to make sure that they're in the INDCs or that there will be in national implementation plans when all the countries go back home. And the reason why it's so important is because carbon pricing or taxation or fossil fuel subsidy reform means that you're starting to put a cost on the externalities of high carbon. What I would say is that the focus only on carbon pricing is not enough, because the flip side of carbon pricing is subsidies. And if you continue to subsidize while you have a carbon price, high fossil energy, then you're basically distorting and creating a perversity in the market.
Sandrine, thanks ever so much.
Thank you.